An interesting thing happened this past week. Other people started watching the videos. It's not just me anymore. And that's why I added that picture of the bicycle. I was talking with the channel Dave Boyd, and I was saying that those are the bikes we use to give rides to kids that have disabilities. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy volunteering for Boy Scouts, and outside of that, another great hobby to have is volunteering with disabled kids. It's an opportunity that a lot of people don't have. Outside of that, I'm going to have to be on my better behavior now, because all these videos are actually being watched by someone other than myself. It's kind of interesting. So I would like to tell you a little bit about the progress on the fence, the progress with the tomatoes, and my New Year's resolution, progress with the ups. Thanks for being here, and I hope you stick around. This is the front of the shed. Looks pretty cool. I look at all this stuff now and I think, where did the time go? Why didn't this get finished back when I wanted it finished? And I've got a number of reasons. But thinking about it, if I'm thinking about it in a positive way, it's okay. If I'm thinking about it in a negative way, I think it's a waste of time. I'm looking at the bright side now. I've got a little bit of budget and I've got a little bit of time, and I can finally work on my own stuff. So the next thing that happens is I'm going to put another section of fence here. It's a little longer than one section. It'll go to where that post is, the center screen. Then this will be an opening for a gate. That's what used to be an old gate post, and then that'll continue over to the shed. And we'll have that whole area for the sawmill and for parking a trailer or two, things that will be out of sight from the street. You won't be able to see them. In fact, from the house that's back here, there is only one window that can see, and that's a room that nobody ever even goes in, so that's fine. And then between that post and this post, this is where the gates will be. Now I could find myself a fancy gate, but I can not really picture spending the time on that kind of a gate now, or having the money to have someone weld something. So I think I'm gonna make some kind of improvised gate. Or maybe I'll just hang a curtain. Oh, it doesn't matter, as long as there's progress, as long as I'm moving forward. There's another stand of bamboo. I truly love this bamboo. That wire, by the way, just came to me. It wasn't laying here. I know that wire looks messy, as opposed to any of that. That looks fine. But you know, that wire looks way out of place. Okay. We are slowly building an airplane. Welcome. I'm able to work on my fence again. It's been maybe a couple of weeks. The problem is I couldn't get the posts, so I decided these are temporary posts anyway. This is like a second, and then this is supposed to be a metal post. That's where the gate's going to be. And then I thought, well, go to the mill, cut a larger, like a 6x6 or something. That's a true 4x4 cut. And then I thought, I don't have time for this. I gotta get back to work. So I decided since this is temporary, it doesn't really matter what goes in there. It's just gonna hold the fence up. There's no concrete. I'll be able to go up and remove this post and set in a metal column or I wouldn't call it a column, but how about this? I'll set in one of those. But that could be a year from now, or it could be a month from now. It doesn't matter, but I can take it out and I can dig out that post with ease. I pour concrete around the metal and really set it in for good. But in the meantime, I keep the ball rolling, because it's a real big mess here. Yeah, so you can see I'm doing a lot of thinking, wondering, musing, pondering. I'm in a brown study, you could say. But take a look at this. So the string is running parallel to the front of the shed. Now, I don't need to do this, but I just kind of wanted to. This is one of the places I live, so why not? Well, the original post was... Actually, it wasn't here. But this corner post, which is in nice and tight. Well, look at that. 28 7/8. Look at that. 28 7/8. And then finally 28 7/8. And then the distance here, I believe it's 8 foot 5. Gotta measure at the bottom, because the top could be twisted all around. Yeah, 8 foot 5. So the halfway point is, trying to hook it. Got it. Should be 52.5 inches. Now you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. A fence doesn't have to be built to that detail. But I have to admit, I can't do it any other way. I did all this on the first try by my lonesome, and it went really fast. But I just can't slap things together. And in all seriousness, I think that's a downfall, because I'm supposed to be working on small little rental houses for people that don't have too much money, who tend to have life habits that tear up houses. And I shouldn't say tear up. Oh, they don't do it on purpose. It's just the way they live their lives. So why provide like crazy detail? And I don't know. I just can't do it any other way. And the other thing is, it doesn't take me a long time. I got those posts in there on the first try. I kind of understood what I was doing and did it. Alright, so I'm giving new meaning to the brown, in a brown state of mind. In a brown study, rather. That comes from a book. It was the quote out of the book is, "Lack of company will soon lead a man into a brown study." It's supposed to mean like the doldrums and the sadness and things like that. The book was written in 1532. However, that's not the case here. I'm pretty excited about the progress. I will, in a few hours, have probably less than that, have the face of this fence built up, and from the street it'll look fine. But kind of giving new meaning to the word brown study. It's clay. One of the things that I'm toying with is, should this fence run level from that point over there? So when you're standing farther out, you're either going to see the fence climbing uphill a little bit to the gates, eventual gates, or you will see it kind of leveled off. I'm going to flip a coin and keep moving, because behind this fence is quite a mess. I'll show you that in a little bit, but I want to get back to the projects. I am falling behind. I had set my sights on getting 2 houses rented out this year. And at this point in time, I think I might have to spend most of my time working on the outsides of the houses just to make sure that they stay in compliance with the town. I'm not in any trouble right now. I'm out of that hot water, but I want to keep it that way. I'm going to nail the straightest board across here. I'm going to put 1 nail in. Once I have it leveled off where I want it, I'll come back with screws. I'll go to the pile and I'll find a twisted 2x4, and it'll be my lowest board. Where I'll make it so it crowns up this way, and then I'll push down on it, screw it, and then I'll actually put some lifting pressure on this. Very, very little. That's just a little idea I have. This will be my top rail. It's the cleanest of them all. It's not exactly straight, but that's fine. This is going to be the center rail. It has a little weakness in the middle, I think. And then my bottom rail, you'll see the bow in there. I'm going to use that on the bottom. And like I said before, on the end, I will step on that end, then put the screws into it, and that wood will be driving that post up. Wood doesn't have a memory, so within, I'd say, a few short weeks, it's summertime when it all dries out, there won't be any tension on that. All of this is easy access, easy to repair. I'm using the worst pieces out of the pile. I took a guess at putting that nail there. While that nail held it up for me, I just drove in a temporary nail there. I will put 2 screws there. I then leveled it all off and then took a look. This looks like it's going to work fine. The top rail right now is level, and the left side of the fence that you're looking at, that's raised up off the ground a little because that's a low spot. Water travels there. I wanted the fence not to be wet. That's why I'm going to make my next fence inside the house. I think this looks fine. This is kind of the view you get from the street. The street is still a ways back behind me. So honestly, this will probably hide all my sins just fine. I'm not going to follow the contour of the ground. The ground goes uphill towards the right. From here this way, it's about 3 inches. I think I'm going to just go with the level line. I'd prefer that. I think later when the gates are being built, it's going to look nicer. All right, we're moving along. Can you see the little bit of a crown in there? See it rising up a little bit? Now we are straight. There it is. I can sleep well now. So that's the fence update. I'm going to leave these pieces long on this right side and go ahead and set the post for what is the right post, and then build this little bit of section of fence, and then I'll measure between the opening and make myself some exact cuts. But this is our fence. This is what you watched being built some weeks back. And some of these boards are in fact much worse condition than I initially thought. I'm picking them up off of a pile and they're sopping wet, but they are in fact shrinking. That's funny because this wood is old. I mean, this was somebody's fence project. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 10 years ago. If you don't know the story, someone gave me all this fencing and the horizontal boards that I'm using here, and a lot of it is actually rotted. Let me get down low so the sun, there we go. So that's today's work, and some of those will dry and they will need to be replaced, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't mind, not at all. And this is where the sawmill is going to sit, right here. So the tomato update. They're growing. I keep giving them water. I give them about 2 pails of water a day. When it rains, that really confuses me. I'm not sure what to do at that point. I kind of stick my fingers in the soil and I feel for moisture. It's about all I know. That, and I think this right here is supposed to be taken off. I don't know. Well, we just took that one off. So this we want to cover that from the direct sun, or rather too much sun. That would take off. That we don't need. I was singing to this one. You know, I was supposed to talk to the plants. Yeah, I gave this one a song or two and look what happened. We'll have to string that one up. You know what else I was thinking about? It's interesting how we spend a lot of time working on other people's houses, and then eventually we get a chance to work on our own. I think if we worked on our own first, a lot of people wouldn't go back to work. That would upset the nature of things, wouldn't it? It's fun working on your own house, and wouldn't it be nice if you could do your own house first and then work for other people? But you know why they don't allow that? It's not the money. If you built yourself a nice house and you had all your ducks in a row, there'd be no real reason to go to work. Look at all the people that retire and do all the things they really wanted to do. Oh, if it was only that easy. But it is very interesting just the same. So there's a predator already lurking around the fence. This will keep me safe. I live on the inside of the fence. These villains go walking on the outside. So the other update is push-ups. And today is day 175 of the year. And I have done, I think, 45 push-ups. Here's what I've learned. If you intend on doing push-ups, and you have a deadline midnight, it's good not to wait to the last minute. Meaning anything after like 6 or 7 or 8 at night, it becomes really hard to do the ups. I think last night it was like 11:52. And I still had like 20 to go. If I went over midnight, I wouldn't be too worried, because I didn't think I'd get this far. I thought I'd get to maybe 100 and my New Year's resolution would be done. But I've made it all the way to 175, and I bet you 200 is gonna be pretty easy. What happens after that, I don't know. But sometimes, what they say, it's the journey. It's a quest. All right, this is how you build an airplane. Not one that you would want to take long flights on, mind you, but it nevertheless, it does what we need it to do.